All right. Hey, welcome. We are back with another glorious episode of Trippin with Tremont, and I have my fabulous guest, Alida McDaniels, in the
Thank
house.
you.
Yes, yes. Thank you for joining us, me, in this place,
Everybody
this
out there.
experience that we're in right now. So, for those of you out there who do not know Alida, Alida, please tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Ooh. That's a loaded
Sorry.
question.
Okay.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit about myself. I am a life coach. I've been in the coaching industry for 18 years. My main focus is holistic nutrition and spiritual psychology. I'm currently working on my doctorate in naturopathy. I host events on empowerment. I host meditation events. I'm a classically trained chef. Um, and yeah, I was telling you before we started recording that I lettered in choir. Random fact.
Lettered Inquire. That
Yeah,
is the most interesting lettering that I've ever heard of. I lettered in
serious.
being a lifter, a little thing that only people that knew me from high school and some people here knows, but yeah, that's neither here. Lifting,
No one knows anything,
lifting, as
but
in like cheerleading, lifting,
wow.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know what Greg. I'm like, you like lifted girls?
Oh no, we're keeping it. Keeping it all in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. So,
Got it.
in the good old spot of Gary, Indiana, Calumet High School. So, psychedelics.
Yeah.
What would you say has been kind of like a little bit of like, what did you think about it first before you even delved into it? What was kind of like, what's been kind of your beginnings of psychedelics?
I mean, first for me, it was like in college. I was just trying to experience everything. But in the early years, I actually started doing a lot of research. Looking into uh, the history of it, how it actually was responsible for sparking the evolution of civilization, shaping our structure and idea of God. And so for me, from the very early on in my psychedelic journey, it's really all been about setting an intention of being a better version when I come out than when I went in. And so every time I go in, like I learn something new, and I put that piece together very early on. Yeah.
Okay. Did your parents by chance like dabble in psychedelic? Like, what did they think of? Did they have any kind of understanding of psychedelics like before you did it?
Not that I know of with my father, because I haven't spoken to him forever. But my mom, it's actually only something we've spoken about probably more in this last year. Hmm.
Is she interested in doing it?
Not necessarily, but it's more a matter of understanding that on a spiritual level, we can only reach as far as our own mind will let us go. So if we have mental limitations, if we have patterns of identity that we're addicted to, um, you can't really access that if you don't unlock parts of your brain. And so looking at it from a therapeutic perspective, she's more open and receptive to have the conversation, just to be able to understand. But it's not necessarily something that she would.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm curious. What would you say is probably, I guess, what was actually? Let me backtrack. What was your first experience with? Like, what was it? Did you do like? Was it shrooms? Was it like LSD? Like, what was like your first psychedelic experience? Like, how did you even, you know?
100% mushrooms. I didn't try acid until actually only like a few years ago. I never had a desire. And mainly it had to do with the fact that I realized that because it was such a sacred experience for me, that I felt like if I had to keep pushing the envelope and getting more and more and more, that I was never really going in with the right intention. And so that's why none of those things really ever excited me. About 5-ish years ago, I had spoken with someone who leads people in ayahuasca and sacred ceremony. Um, and I had spoken to him and I said, I've always been curious about ayahuasca, but I haven't done it yet. And he said to me, the problem is that you personally have never learned how to be inside of your body. Everything that you've done in your entire life has been trying to escape being in your body and being fully grounded in your body. And so I took heed with that, and I decided that I was like, you know what, if I cannot effectively do what I'm looking to do with shrooms, then I'm not even going to go that much further, because I'm still trying to escape my body. So I had to do a lot of internal work to really just say, like, where am I still trying to escape, and how do I get in my body and be okay with being in my body? Because I just don't think I was ready, and appreciative of the medicine as I needed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So walk me through your first trip.
I don't remember my first trip. No. My first trip was mixed with other things. I was in college.
Oh.
So it was at a party.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like at a party. So it was like, we had this this one apartment where like all the cool kids in school went to, and you had to like know the code to actually get into the gate. And so like one day we were like all doing shots and everything, and my friend literally just dropped a bag of mushrooms. And I was just like,
just
just
right
put
on the
them
table,
in.
be like,
Anybody
hey,
who wants
so
them?
we
And I
gonna
was
do
like,
this
fuck
or
it,
what?
let's do it. Yeah.
Dang. Okay, so not even like a lead up. Alida. So okay, so they just dropped it on you just like that.
Yeah.
Like, what was running through your head at that time?
I was fearless at that time. See, before I went to high school, before I went to college, I was really, really reserved. I was very disciplined and structured in not wanting to get in trouble. So like, I never even got drunk until I moved away to school. So like, I went to culinary school like for college. So like, I moved away at 21 and went to culinary school. So like, by then I hadn't tried anything. I'd never really been in trouble. I'd only ever been grounded once.
Not even weed.
No.
Even weed.
No, I grew up. So that's the thing. I grew up around weed, but I never smoked it, because of the stigmas that I was told. So like, I was always around people who didn't really live a life that I wanted to emulate. So I automatically assumed that that's what it was associated with. So when I went to culinary school, I had a chance to be around people who didn't know me previously. And I had a chance to really just explore, like, okay, who do I want to be? Let me try this personality today. Let me try this personality. And so I would try different ways of being and showing up and exploring and searching and taking adventures. And so those 2 years were really an opportunity for me to push every single boundary of my own comfort zone that I had. So
Wow.
I that's what I did when I was in culinary school. So that was, it was
So
easy. It was
culinary
kind of
school
naturally
is
for me.
A very big change and
Huge.
finding yourself and everything.
Huge.
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
the trannies too. I mean, I hung out at a tranny bar. Yeah. so the first weekend that I was in culinary school, there was a bar across the street called the Temple Bar. And I walked in there, and I wasn't planning on getting drunk. Like, I was just like, you know what, let me just go in. Let me just see, like, some people from school, right? I'm still figuring my way out. And I see the guy who gave me the orientation when I had come there, like, a few months previously. And so he was trash. And I was like, look, we're in the same dorm. Like, let me walk you back. Because, like, we were in the Tenderloin. It's like drive-bys, like, on the corner, like, at least once a week.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it was crazy,
Tenderloin.
right?
Oh, man.
So I told him,
that
I was
place
like, look, you're
is a
drunk.
movie.
Like, let me walk you back. And so as we're walking back, he's like, hey, let's stop in here. And he points at this bar. He's like, we're going to stop here and let's grab a drink on our way, because the dorm is right around the corner. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. All I remember of that night is a purple neon sign. And so after that, like, the bartender named Yvette, chick with a dick still, and I like, she was amazing. And so she just started pouring me drinks. And that was the first night I got drunk.
Okay.
So shortly after, my manager at school said to me, hey, Alida, we're going to Jezebel's. You should come with us. And I was like, where is it? He's like, it's right by your dorm. Totally come with us. So I had to figure out where it was. And come to find out, I looked straight down from my dorm room window, and it was literally right down on the street. I was literally right above it the entire time. I got so drunk that night that I didn't even know. So yeah, so Jezebel's.
First time getting drunk.
First time getting drunk. So being at Jezebel's, really, like, being around the trannies, like, it showed me, like, how to be fearless. It showed me how to, like, explore who I really am, and to not let the stereotypes dictate how I create my own life.
Okay. What would you say has probably been, I guess, one of your best trips? Or just one that pops out as like, yo, this is one of the
Yeah.
this is one of the like best magical ones.
One very specific. It was during Coachella. I was not at Coachella, so it was like probably like 2011 Coachella. Coachella was right like literally a half a mile away, like not even like a quarter of a mile away from my house where I lived in the desert. So I would always see the crowds, and my cousin was actually there working, Gus, and he was working. So it was a magical weekend in the fact that I already got to hang out with him. But then I got a hold of some mushroom chocolates through some people who were at Coachella. And
Good old rave and music culture.
yeah, so I literally laid on my couch, took a mushroom chocolate, and listened, and I could hear the reverberation from Coachella.
Oh, so you didn't even like go. It was just
no.
outside of Coachella.
Yeah, I wasn't
Wow.
even there. But I sat there and I laid on the couch and I talked to God and I just said, like, I need some guidance. I want to come out of here better than when I went in, you know? And it was almost like looking back on it now, it was almost like God is saying you're about to go on like the craziest journey of your life. So like just brace yourself and be ready. And yeah, I mean, literally ever since that moment, it's been a wild, crazy ride.
Hey, never stops going.
No.
Would you say you had a particular one not so favorite time with it? Where you're like, oh.
No, never. Not when it's on its own. If I've mixed it with something else, yes. But not from a perspective of being like paranoid, more so just sick. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, don't disrespect the medicine.
Yeah, I mean, so do you have like a kind of step process on, okay, if I'm going to do any psychedelics, this is what I'm going to, this is my ceremony, if you will.
Yeah. No, it changes based on like where I'm at in the moment. One of my favorite things to do is actually take them and go sit with my bare feet in the garden and talk to my plants. And talk to the earth.
Oh man,
when it's when it's
talking to plants before, man.
When the stars and the moon is out, like that's one of my favorites. And then just be able to journal, like whatever's coming through. That's my favorite.
Even if it's
quiet space at home.
Weird stuff like.
I always get like amazing downloads. Like I talk to ancestors. I talk to, loved ones. I talk to my future self. I talk to my past self. I talk to my friends, to their souls. And, I mean, it's never the same journey.
Yeah. Hey, man, we've had a couple of experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm just thinking of the one time where it's like, if we woke back up back in, where was it? Was it Temecula?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Temecula experience. That was a particular like crazy experience, but that was actually one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everybody got way closer after that. You know.
We all had some really, really interesting experiences that weekend.
I was a roly-poly at some point.
My face was melting off.
Your face was melting off.
Yep. It was a wild weekend.
It was so much going on, but it was a time that I would never change.
Mm-mm.
So now I have to ask, if you could trip with anyone, living, dead, 2 people, you got.
Oof. God, that's a tough one. Keanu Reeves and Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp is on a trip that everyone sees right now.
So
man.
I would have
Cool.
wanted to trip with him even before watching what's going on right now. I'm fascinated with how his mind works.
Mm-hmm.
Like watching in everything from Alice in Wonderland to, Willy Wonka to Pirates and Val Kilmer even too. Oh my God, love Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Oh my God, yeah, he's a legend. And just there's some sort of creative aspect to the way that they see the world and the way that they play a character that it's almost like, if we don't see it through their eyes, we don't see the full scope of the actual story.
Right.
Like with Johnny Depp, like when they took him out of the Fantastic Beasts series.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm sorry, but that new movie is not the same. it
haven't
doesn't
seen it yet.
have the same him, you know.
Mm.
And so yeah, so like even with Keanu Reeves, like with the Matrix movies and with John Wick, right?
Oof.
These are very specific characters that while they may seem fantastical, they're ridiculously relatable.
Yeah.
And Scarlett Johansson playing Lucy,
Oh man, I gotta see that movie
you
again.
seriously,
I have not
seriously.
seen that in. I saw it on bootleg.
I
when
watch it at
came
least once a
out,
year.
Like,
I bought it. I bought it because I need. Yeah,
I saw it on bootleg, so it was not too clear. I was kind of in and
yeah.
out. Yeah.
But like Luc Besson, the one who makes those movies, right? He made Fifth Element. You know, like he makes those movies. Like to think about the world through their eyes and to see like where do you get that download? How do you know that that's true? Because you know it's true. Every Avengers movie that we see about in space,
There's something
we know
that's
that shit
coming.
is true.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's all coming from
Come
somewhere.
on. We are not the only intelligent life in this world, right?
Ooh.
So it's like I would love to be able to hang out with people like that and see the world through their eyes and really understand, right? Idris Elba. Fuck, man. Genius. You know, like I want to see the world through their eyes and understand like how does God project God's self through you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what role did God create you to play in this world and what is your impact going to be like? I want to know that shit. That's what fascinates me.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so up on that, do you have any business or anything you want to promote?
Um, you know what? People find me when they're ready.
All right.
You know,
what's your handles and everything?
Yeah, on Instagram, I'm Goddess Intelligence. That's my personal one. I have a food account, Eat Glow Rise. I'm back on Twitter again. I'm on TikTok officially. Those are both Alida McDaniel.
Hey.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you know, find me, follow me, check out my content. If you like it, cool. You know, make a comment. If you know somebody who needs it, share it. But yeah, I mean, I'm here to spread love, and you know, I host events periodically, so just watch my socials, and you'll see.
Definitely gonna
Yeah.
need to check one of those out soon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
coming and sharing. Appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Too.
Thank you. And guests out there, make sure you follow Trippin with Tremont on all platforms. Thank you. Love, peace, chicken grease.